The House of Lords is full of silly old duffers who are so far removed from the will of the people they're actively ruining Britain. Yesterday, the Lords ripped the teeth out of the illegal migration bill, showing just how utterly out of touch they really are. They voted to allow a court of tribunal to block or delay deporting people. They voted to allow people pretending to be gay to just continue to game the system and claim that they will be persecuted in their own country. It is, of course, an incredibly difficult thing to prove that somebody is gay, as, ironically, quite a few members of the House of Lords may well be aware. They voted to retain an existing 24-hour limit on the detention of unaccompanied migrant children. Well, that's great. Isn't it amazing how old children can look these days? Gosh, they're growing full beards much younger now, aren't they? Yet again, the Lords is allowing people to just game the system. And they must know this. They must. The Home Office said that between 2016 and December 2022, there were 7,900 asylum cases where age was disputed and subsequently resolved, of which 49% were later found to be adults. So, basically, half of those claiming to be children are adults. Do you remember this big scandal of child asylum seekers going missing from hotels? Yet, did anybody else think that maybe they might not have really been children? The Lords backed by 226 votes to 152 a move to retain a 72-hour limit on the detention of pregnant women who cross via small boats or by other irregular routes. OK, well, look, obviously, nobody would want any pregnant ladies to suffer at all. I would, however, politely question the logic of a pregnant woman who isn't concerned about the safety of her unborn child to the extent that she thinks the best option is to walk through several perfectly safe countries and then get in a dinghy and cross the busiest shipping lane in the world. The average age of the House of Lords is, apparently, 71. A lot of them are very well-to-do. They may well have a couple of homes, possibly a nice little bolt hole in the south of France somewhere. Their kids have gone through private school, through university. They've got a nice life, just swanning in and out of Westminster, collecting their 300-odd quid a day attendance allowance, plus travel expenses. And let's not forget that wonderful subsidised restaurant facility. Oh, lovely. Shall we have another glass of the Chateauneuf de Paix while we pontificate about human rights, Jethro? What a lovely life. What a lovely life, yeah? Well, ordinary people are losing their jobs because of migrant hotels. Towns are missing out on hundreds of millions of pounds worth of investment. 8,000 Afghan refugees are potentially now just going to be homeless because our desire to be kind to the world means that we've actually let in too many people so that we can't look after them. We've just launched a helpline for homeless veterans because we've got so many of them. The taxpayer is paying billions to accommodate people. Women live in fear walking home alone at night near an asylum seeker hotel. So maybe they now have to get a taxi, which, of course, isn't subsidised by the taxpayer. Can you see the contrast there between the life of the Lords and the life of the ordinary British person? And can you see the difference between what the ordinary British person wants, which is to stop the boats, and what the Lords are doing, which is to help create another record month of arrivals in the Channel? The Lords, in my view, are out of touch, and their lives are not impacted upon as a result of their decisions. It's time to swerve the Lords or abolish them completely. They've had it too good for too long, or the British public are suffering.